John, tell you, how are you? Pretty good. How are you? You're back. I'm back. Yeah.
Welcome to all of you. At this time, we will have our moment of silence. Thank you. Could I have a motion for approval of the minutes?
I make a motion that we approve the minutes.
I second.
From September.
Second, thank you. Motion with White, second by Ms. Oxendine. Is there any discussion? If not, all those to approve, raise your right hand. Thank you. At this time, I need a motion to approve the meeting agenda.
I make a motion that we approve the meeting agenda with those addendums.
Okay, the amendment, thank you. Second, please. Second by Ms. Oxendine. Motion by Ms. White, second by Ms. Oxendine to approve the meeting agenda. Any discussion? All those who approve, raise your right hand. Thank you. Dr. Bennett.
Good evening. Thank you so much, Ms. Harkness and board. This evening, there are three groups that we would like to recognize, or we have three recognitions. Let me say the first one, our principals, the key instructional leaders in our district, those for whom we have great dependence and we certainly support. So as National Principals Month is in October, we have invited our principals to the board meeting this evening for a special recognition. And I think Dr. Powers will do that. Sorry, if you were already up.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the school board, and Superintendent Dr. Bennett. Thank you for allowing me to express a few thoughts about National Principals Month. Can we agree that a principal can be defined strongly by their character and willingness to learn and use the skills necessary to provide a safe environment for teaching and learning? I believe that's a reasonable ask. You see, too often we get caught up in things that are simply routine. In 2019, Melissa Kelly stated, "Principals have demanding jobs." She further says that principals set the tone for their schools. This statement is obviously true for all leaders, but tonight we want to honor and recognize our principals and thank them for their hard work. Although principals are responsible for many tasks, some of the most important tasks include the following. Principals must be highly visible, be an effective listener, be a problem solver, empower others, have a clear vision, be fair and consistent, be discreet, and be dedicated. So you see, principals must be committed to a cause that is bigger than self. If you are a Vance County Schools principal, please stand. Thank you for your sacrifice. So we can get your picture, and then afterwards we'll give you a gift.
Yes, I am.
You want to finish?
We were waiting for you. This time, can I get you to cover this side?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much to all of our principals.
Thank you very much.
Treats with some candy in here. Yeah. Oh, he missed it. I'll take it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. As we move forward, I'd like to ask Kevin Purdue to come forward, please. Just recognize as well.
Also, in the month of October, we recognize our custodians and Grounds Appreciation Day. That day was actually this past Sunday, October the 2nd. We had the pleasure of working with some great people in our district. And tonight we have a small sample of those to be in attendance. We have our Safel partnership, which does our custodial scores throughout the district. And we've got our top score winners with us tonight. And we really had some close races of those. Again, it's very competitive. And I've asked Mr. Tommy Kirkman from Safel to come up. He has trophies, plaques to recognize these two schools we have with us tonight, which are E.O. Young Elementary and Vance County Middle School.
Good evening. Yes, we went through each one of the schools, and I would like to read off some of the scores because the elementary schools, out of the 10, we had 8 that scored A's and 1 missed an A by a 1/10 of a point. And it's really refreshing to go across, even though this is our first scores and they usually tend to be the highest. Everybody is into the program and they are, competing to be the best. And tonight, I'm just excited about celebrating these scores. We'll start with the secondary schools. First, winning the award is Vance Middle School with a 95.30. That school is huge, just like the high school is. And for them to be able to post a score like that, I'm very proud of the staff over there. Thank you so much for your hard work and congratulations. Yeah,
Would you come forward with that principal, ask you to join us? Thank you, Kevin, you guys want to go out there for this one, we'll take a picture.
I would like to say about the school that this school and I had a chance to visit the school, and I remarked to the two things how clean that building was. I have never ever seen it so clean, and the school feels the same way.
thank you so much for those comments too. That is reassuring, and everybody's seeing the same thing out there. And you know something, that's a lot of hard work that goes into that building. So thank you. Okay, now we're going to go to the elementary schools. These schools, for the most, I mean, across the board, they just look really, really good. E.M. Robbins, like I said, had a 94.9, so they only missed being an A by 1/10 of a point. We're on a 5-point grade scale, so that's pretty impressive. Clark Elementary had a 95.80. New Hope had a 96.0. ACOG had a 96.40. Kingston Elementary had a 97.0. LB Yancey, which usually wins, she had a 90, their staff had a 97.50. Zeb Vance went above them and they had a 97.60. Carver, Mr. Dewey and his staff posted a 98.50. That's right. You can celebrate that.
Yes.
And the winner is E.O. Young with a 98.90. The transformation out there was a lot of hard work that went into the summer cleanup out there, including the ceilings and everything that they got replaced. But I remember Kirk saying, I don't know if we're ever going to get all this dust out of here, but they did. They did a fantastic job. And congratulations, guys, on a job well done. Thank you so much for your hard work. And congratulations, here's your trophy.
I don't get to tell much you got. Because I am very, very proud of you. You are an amazing team. You work beautifully together. So thank you.
1, 2. Awesome, thank you. Thank you so much. Your last recognition. Oftentimes we have members of the district who make presentations at conferences or other meetings around the state. Not oftentimes, though, do we have the organizer, the coordinator, the keynote speaker for these events send a personal note to the district because they were so impressed with someone who was presenting. And so, Dr. Jacqueline Crossan, come on down. To recognize her as a district because I received a personal note thanking us for sharing her with a conference where she was on a panel discussion talking about leadership and her growth with other principals. Oh, wow. So thank you so much.
you so much for not only representing yourself well, you're a wonderful professional, but you represented the district very well.
Thank you.
Sorry. One, two.
There are no comments from the public. Dr. Bennett, Superintendent report.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Again, as you can see, we have so much to be thankful for and so much to be proud of. In fact, we are. We'll begin with the fiscal oversight monthly report. Mr. Sidger.
Good evening. The fiscal oversight monthly report shows that we are reconciled through August. One additional comment, the sales tax refunds are number 5. We did receive that check last week. Under the comments, staff is continuing to work on updating the budgets and meeting with the budget administrators. The retention bonuses were paid out on September 28th, and the local longevity bonuses will be paid out on October 27th.
Thank you very much. As we do every month, we always check the numbers and share the information with the COVID dashboard. Yes, we are still having a few folks in the district, students and/or staff with COVID. The highest number during the month of September was 14. We were down towards the end of the month to under 5. And so we are very hopeful that we will be able to maintain the low number of COVID cases. Again, custodial staff, facility staff are still doing the cleaning to help us maintain that low number. So we're very appreciative of them for that. Next, I just want to share with you briefly our school improvement plans. I'm sorry, I did this one. Thank you, Deanna. The North Carolina School Board Association voting delegates. We do need to have a determination by the board of who those voting delegates will be. Do you have anyone interested in serving as those voting delegates?
You're not going? Ms. Harmon, are you going?
I'm going, I thought I'd already been.
Yeah. So that's fine, okay. Harmon.
Yes, I'm going.
Okay. You want to go and go? Okay. Ms. Paul? Yes. Okay, you go, that's 3, 1, 2, 3. We only have about 3. I volunteered you. I see.
Well, thank you so much. We have our voting delegates for the North Carolina School Board Association Conference. We look forward to your good work at that conference. Yes, ma'am, we have our own alternates. Yes, we will make sure. Yeah, this one will be an alternate. Yeah.
What time do you have church?
Yes.
Now we'll move forward to the school improvement plans. So just a couple of comments about our school improvement plans. Now, I'm not very good at staying seated very long, I apologize. But as we look at our school improvement planning process, just a reminder, we do have a board policy that indicates that in October, the school improvement plans will be shared with the board, which we have done that electronically, and Deanna can certainly make sure that you have a paper copy if that's something that you would like. Part of the school improvement planning process is the connection of our basic work as a district in our strategic plan, then the school's looking specifically at how they can support the strategic plan. In our strategic plan for the next 3 years, we have 4 pillars or 4 priorities. innovation, high performance culture, experiential learning, and equity. All four of these, the district at large has key strategies and goals that we would like to meet. Each of our schools was provided with a very simple template where they then, as a school, would look at the four priorities and determine key strategies that they at their school would implement to support the pillars of the district. Part of what they would also do was to establish a baseline metric and determine their level of growth. As we flip on, Deanna, thank you. Just gleaning some of the key strategies that were presented by the schools. In innovation, it really is what are we doing new and different to enhance student learning and engagement. Some of the key things that were brought out in the school improvement plans from the school, and I just picked a few. Continuation with opportunity culture. And by the way, our opportunity culture schools, without exception, met or exceeded growth in all areas. So we're very proud of that body of work, and it shows that this innovative approach to instruction and instructional support is certainly a great return on investment. Also, continue and enhance digital tools to support and innovate and enrich not only students, but staff as well. Some of the schools determined that one strategy they would use would be to add additional electives. Not just focusing on electives at the secondary level, but also looking at the lower grades at particular electives that they might be able to add as part of their innovative practices, project-based learning, artists in residence, the Hope Pantry, because you see innovation isn't just around academics, it's around social, emotional health and wellness as well. A couple for high-performing organization, and again, every school defined what they would do around this. We talked about the cultural expectations in the school. Do we have key processes and protocols in place? And how are we measuring the impact of the work that we're doing? Many of the schools indicated that they would refine or enhance the expectations for students and staff. It's important that we are very clear on what our expectations are. Distributed leadership for staff and students. The principal understanding that he or she in that leadership seat needs others around them on the same team supporting that body of work. So offering and allowing distributed leadership throughout that building and also encouraging students to be engaged in leadership opportunities is important. Defining our social norms. Again, what's accepted, what isn't accepted, because we cannot make the assumption that everyone understands what those norms are, so we need to define those. Restorative justice practices, looking very carefully at the ways we analyze our data. All of these would enhance our performance as an organization. Experiential learning, again, that's exactly what it sounds like. We want students to experience their learning, hands-on opportunities. We want to make sure that students have an opportunity to reflect and discuss these learning experiences, because if we do that, then the students really will have learned. We want to make sure that we design lessons around natural curiosity, that we focus on career exploration, even as early as the youngest students in kindergarten. We want to partner, many of the schools said partner with the Center for Innovation and area businesses and agencies so that we can make sure that they have authentic experiences for students. And again, project-based learning and problems of practice. And equity, the fourth of the four pillars, we want to make sure that we have access, all students, all learners have access to personalized learning. And you'll notice in the little illustration here, everyone reaching for the same branch on the tree, but notice the height of their boxes. That's equity, everyone having equal access. Part of that really comes down to students having voice and choice in the courses that they take, in the clubs that they're members of, and the activities that they participate in. Making sure we continue our work with MTSS, that we look very careful at the disaggregation of our data around subgroup performance, that we also offer flexibility in our classrooms for the structure of the lessons and the classroom environments themselves. Just a few of the things that our schools have provided in their school improvement plan that will support our strategic plan. As board policy 3430 indicates, we will submit as a district these plans to the board in October and seek your approval. And so at this time, I ask for a motion for the approval of the school improvement plans from the schools.
I make a motion,
I make a motion to approve the school improvement plan.
motion by Ms. Oxnard, I have a second.
I said,
Second by Ms. White, any discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Thank you.
Thank you, that's all.
That is all yours. Okay. At this time, we're going to have our standing committee report. Ms. Ellis, personnel.
First, personnel committee, and, excuse me. Can you guys hear me? Yes. Oh, good. Personnel committee met on October 4th, 2022. They reviewed format, recommendations, presentations, retirements, leaves, and transfers. We voted to bring all personnel matters to the full board for approval. Personnel addendum is being recommended for approval also. Next personnel meeting is November 8th, 2022 at 8:30 a.m.
I second my motion.
Motion by Ms. Ellis, second by Ms. White to accept the personnel recommendation. Any discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Thank you. Next, finance, Ms. White.
Good evening again. The finance committee did not meet, but we do have a couple items for the board tonight. The first one is under contracts and services. We have two contracts, one for integrated language service, which is a sign language interpreter for a students in our district. This is for $40,000 from federal funds. The other contract is for public impact. That's the name of the vendor. We normally refer to that as Opportunity Culture, and that also supports our MCLs or multi-classroom multi-classroom leaders, thank you. And that is for $167,500 from state funds and federal funds. And so we are asking the board to approve the integrated language service contract and the public impact contract for renewal for this year.
I make a motion that we approve these contracts.
Second by Ms. Cox, motion by Ms. White, second by Ms. Cobb. Any discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Thank you.
The second item we have for tonight is the approval of the state lottery funds to cover county debt service. So these are two applications that you have before you to use the education lottery funds to service the debt incurred on behalf of the school board. The first is the Q-SCAB, which is the Quality School Capital Bond Loan for the construction of previous projects. The second is the Q-ZAB, which is the Quality Zone Academy Bond for repairs that occurred in the district. The total amount, let me back up for one moment. The projected annual funds available from the lottery for this year is $369,705. The total use of the funds for this year is $384,775, which would be a remaining annual funds projected in the lottery at a negative $15,070, which that would just come from the principal. We do have $1.4 million in the lottery balance as of June 30th, 2022. So there are two applications. This is normal every year. The two applications are, and we are requesting that the board approve the applications to use the lottery funds for debt service for the QSAB and the QSCAB loans.
I make a motion that we approve these applications for the use of the NC lottery funds.
Motion by Ms. White,
I second.
Ms. Booth, second. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor, raise your right hand. Thank you.
And that is all I have for tonight. The next meeting for the finance committee will be October 22nd, or 26th at 12 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you. Building and Grounds Committee met on Thursday, September 22nd. Center for Innovation update. The outside signage is to be completed prior to November 10th, and the fence and the gate at the garden is soon to be installed. Hard to wait to see that. The committee learned that the design for the ADA grades are ongoing. Equipment for EO Young has arrived. The HVAC equipment has arrived for EO Young and will be installed, I guess. Maybe it's already installed, 6 to 7, yeah.
Yes.
Got a thumbs up over there. Advanced cabinet is 30% complete. And CFI and that kind of middle school equipment has been ordered. The outdoor learning environments have been ordered and they are just waiting for them to be manufactured. You had your work reports in here also. And our next meeting, you'll be notified, but we don't have the date right.
It's on the 26th.
The 26th, at 2 o'clock, yeah.
Yes. I may ask a question, about, we discussed a while back about those, bleachers, at the high school, which were new, and I know we can't really do anything about them now. Then movement on it, so we can be ready to move probably and do something, this summer.
Yes. That is it. Sorry. That is exactly the plan. With the
Okay,
long lead time on things, we'll order them prior to 2023 and then have them set on school years at the end of May. They'll have an opportunity in the summer, beginning in June, to remove and replace the bleachers at the school at that time.
all right, thank you.
Policy committee, Ms. Oxendine.
Yes, on September 28th, our policy committee reviewed policies 4231, 5021, and 7263. And we discussed recommended changes. We wanted to be sure that we were online with our current practices. So the board will consider the status of the pandemic and make face covering requirements align with medical recommendations. Next meeting is October 26th.
Thank you. Curriculum, Mr. Wilson.
Thank you. The curriculum committee met on September 22nd. Members present were Gloria White, Dorothy Gooch, and myself. Staff members present were Dr. Bennett, Dr. Powers, John Souza, Erica Sandlin, Marcia Abbott, Dr. Destiny Ross Button, Dr. Caraway, and Erica Wright. Professional development update, Dr. Ross Button shared with the committee that in August 22nd session offered 101.5 total contact hours to staff, and there were 1,330 attendees, and some of those were duplicates. Student services and counseling updates. Ms. Erica Wright shared with the committee that the counselor's role is to identify social, emotional, and mental behavior of our students. So right now, 34 of our students scheduled to graduate in May of next year and 9 enrolled this year. But they have found all but 4 of those students. I don't know where they were hiding. Our goal is to increase graduation rate by 20%. We will do this by checking attendance and their grades. This year, we are planning to have at least 2 face-to-face contacts with each counselor in the building. And we want to do whole groups and small group and individual counseling. We met with 356 students last year that are having behavioral issues. I can't believe we had that in this behavior. We had the counselor pull them out one by one to see what their needs were and then work on a way to help them. Ms. White asked if we were fully staffed at each school. And Ms. Wright said we're missing one counselor. Ms. White asked if students had the same counselor for 4 years of high school. Ms. Wright said no, that's up to the principal. Technology updates. Ms. Marsha Abbott shared that she did a summary for the year and there were 2,489 work orders that were submitted and the largest order was for Chromebook repairs. Team completed 2,344 work orders. We had 501 work orders that were submitted without accounts and have completed 356. CLO also shared infrastructure updates on the district networks. And they have completed all VoIP cameras, data, and wireless in district, with the exception of the ASC. And they will be doing a firewall replacement beginning in October of 2022. Ms. White asked Karen the telephone system panic button is coming. And Ms. Abbott that she and Kevin are setting up a meeting to go over the details. Still setting up.
And I just interrupt while we talk about
Sure,
technology.
sure.
While we have a captive audience out there, the principals here, and when we're talking about technology, I'll keep that drum again about laptops going home with each child. I would say that I have some parents saying that their child is not bringing a laptop home, and I'm not the only board member that has gotten that message. In order to have a one-to-one, we bought those laptops so those kids can have access to them, not only at school, but at home also. And there are some schools, and I'm not naming names, that are not sending those laptops home. By now, we've been in school long enough to know, and kids should have them. We should know if they have internet services, if they need the Jeeps. We should know by now because they should be sent home. There's a lot of things that they can do at home as enrichment on those laptops. So please, the school system, we purchase them. Please let those kids have access to them. That's all I'm asking. Anybody else?
Yes, I would just like to add that, in talking with some of the parents, they have asked if their child could bring if they would send their child's laptops home, and they still have not sent them home. I feel like if they had their laptops at home, they could help the child to improve their reading skills and do some other activities that will help them with their growth. So parents are complaining that they do not have laptops for their child.
So if you would please comply, Dr. Bennett.
Absolutely.
I'm, talking to you. They're here, we have them, we have plenty of them. And they need to be sent home with these children.
Absolutely, I can say to the board that is the expectation, and we've discussed that many times, that the students have access to the laptops. They have access to them during the day. They also can take them home with them in the evenings. We've also discussed making sure that we know who needs a Khajiit, and the Khajiit is something that will give them that access if they do not have that to the internet, and if they need it now, they'll probably need it the rest of the year. Because the idea is that the laptop just doesn't go home and stay in the backpack. There has to be a purpose for that laptop to be used in the evening, and we'll discuss that at our leadership meeting. But I can say to the board, that is the expectation, and we'll make sure that we are adherent to that expectation.
Okay, thank you. That has been an issue at every board meeting today, and that's why it continues to be one, and it probably will continue to be one. Dr. Powell has shared with the district and school improvement information with the committee. She stated that we are a district improvement. This designation will become official October the 6th, 2022, after being approved by the state board. We have 10 schools that have state or federal designations. As such, we are planning to provide targeted support to our schools. 2 of our schools engaged in comprehensive needs assessment last spring. These principals learned about school strengths and weaknesses and then engaged in comprehensive needs assessment, unpacking sessions with DPI this fall. The principals brought a few people from the building with them to go through the process, and it went very well. In the last leadership meeting, we engaged all principals in a deep dive, and we will continue to work with that data to drive improvement. Last school year, our focus was on growth, and we did very well. But we know that growth is only 20% of the equation. The other 80% is proficiency, and that is what we will work on this year. Ms. White said this is huge, and we need to do this. It's huge, and they need to do it. So, ask your student, I've been working on it. DPI engaged curriculum leaders webinars to discuss the timeline for writing and submitting our district improvement plan. Dr. Powers stated there's a timeline that the states have set for the improvement plan. Again, it's October the 6th, is the official start date, and we have 30 days to complete the plan. The state is providing an instructional leadership academy to support districts. We were able to secure seats for all principals. There will be 2 sessions, so all principals will not be away at school at the same time each day. We also have to write our district and school improvement plan using InduStar platform, which is in C, it will be in C-Star. Once our district plan is ready, we will bring it to the board for approval. After the board approves our plans, we will submit to the state for approval. The timeline puts us in November for board approval and final approval in December. There being no business, being no further business, the meeting was adjourned at 10:02, and the next curriculum committee meeting is October 26th. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Brooks. European Business Relations, Ms. Good.
The Community and Business Relations Committee met October the 4th. Ms. Salmon shared the safety campaign that kicked off during the month of September. All staff received DS parking tags assigned by staff location. This ensures that for safety purposes, we are aware of vehicles on our campuses. We also implemented our reflective tag campaign for our students, which provides a reflective tag to be attached to the student's backpack. And this allows for more visibility as students are at bus stops. especially as we lose daylight hours. You have a list in the minutes of the past events that have taken place, which included the retirement luncheon, which took place October 4th, which was very nice, and all of those who attended, I think, enjoyed it. Walk to School Day in partnership with Cartar will be October the 12th at Kingston. The Alumni and Staff Challenges at Banks County High School's homecoming, the October the 14th. The Historical Society meeting and information will be October the 17th. And book or treat will be held October the 31st. You also have listed in the minutes the media insights and analytics. So I won't go over those, the Facebook, Twitter, website. Also the fall student spotlight schedule. Some have already taken place, but the upcoming one will be held October 4th at ACOP, October the 11th, Zayland, October the 18th, STEM, October the 25th, Carver, and November the 10th, Clark. Dr. Bennett has already shared information about the strategic plan, quick look, so I won't mention that. So that ended our minutes, and our next meeting will be held. November the 8th at 9 a.m.
Thank you. Dr. Bennett, school transfer.
We have 12 students requesting to transfer into the district, 3 students requesting to transfer out of the district.
Have a motion to approve the transfer.
I make a motion that we approve the transfers and releases.
Second. Thank you. Any discussion? Dr. It's approved. Thank you. Yeah.
And let me go back, I think that the policy, I think that we had to vote on that change of policy. And we didn't do that. Or we adjourned.
Absolutely. As we go back to policy, as Ms. Oxen indicated, we were making sure that the policy 4231 was aligned with what the board is currently doing, and we do look at that data every month. So there was a very simple revision, simply to say that the board will consider the status of the pandemic to make that decision. So that minor edit would be an approval motion. So
I'll make a motion that we approve the recommended changes to.
All right, motion by Ms. Dr. Dunn to approve the changes. Any, go ahead, second. Second, where? Ms. Wilson. Any discussion? All those who approve, raise your right. Thank you. At this time, I make a motion that the board go into executive session, closed session, pursuant to provisions of NCGS 143-318-11 for purposes of discussing legal, personnel, and property issues.
I second.
Second vote, all those who approve. Thank you. Thank you for being here this evening.
Are you